sunshines. I'm here and I'm ready to give you another Ask Diva video. So this video was asked by a couple of people. What can we do to make crocheting like tips on how we could keep on crocheting and what makes us better and what can help us if we want to do a business. So here's a couple of things that was posted in my group and Graphghan's in the Restless, and they put some awesome tips and things there that you can really use and make your life a little easier when it comes to crocheting. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is how crochet saved my life. Crochet saved my life because in 2005, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, there's a lot of survivors out there who can probably understand that you go through a lot and your life actually changes. And when your life changes, you may get depressed, or you may get this burst of energy where you just want to change your life for the better. Both of these things actually happened to me. The burst of life was I didn't have my license at the time. I was 25. So the burst of life happened where I bust my butt. I got my license. I bust my butt to save money. I got a car the same exact day that I got my license. I also moved. For the first time in my whole entire life, I moved out of the city, Jersey City, where I was born and raised. So I moved to Central New Jersey, Perth Amboy, and I had a little townhouse, the carport, washer, dryer, dishwasher. Like, we had it made. We had it made. It was really the best time of my life at the time. I was with my significant other, and then I had my oldest. And then a couple of months, not months, but years later, like 2 years later, I had another baby, which is my little Eli. That's my little miracle baby, because having breast cancer at 25, I was introduced to really aggressive chemotherapy. So it shut down my ovaries, and I was in premenopause. So this was the time where I thought that I just couldn't have any more kids, but I did. So that was a good thing. But after I had Elijah, I guess, I don't know, some things was going on in my life, and I wasn't working as much because he was a little sick. And it actually turned out that I lost everything. My job, I was making good money, like 60, 70,000 a year. I was making great money, and then that was gone. My car was gone. My house was gone. Like, so many things happened and transpired that I just was not able to catch up. So I was homeless. And I moved back to Jersey City, and my mom, I guess she noticed that I was just in a dark area. I was not happy, depressed. I stayed in the house all the time. And she told my aunt, which is my aunt is an older aunt. She at the time was in her late 70s, and she was crocheting in the library. It was a local library, and she would call me and say, why don't you come over? It's a couple of girls, like, that's how she talked. A couple of girls and I are, having some fun in the library. Come in, and we have like a little crochet club. I don't want to be there, Aunt Jean. I just kept saying, I don't want to go there. I'm 20. At the time, I wasn't 25. At the time, I was in my 30s. I probably was like 34, 35. And she's like, come on. And I'm like, Then one day I said, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I'll go. And I went. It was not a good time at the time, but then eventually down the line, it became excellent. It became the best thing in my life. It changed my life. Crochet made me to the person that I am today. Crochet helped me get on top. Crochet helped me learn how creative I am, creative I can be, and how I can help everybody else. So that was just a little bit of my story on how crochet saved my life. It really did. And so that's just to let you know that if you're going through something, there is always hope, because there's always crochet. So the things that some of the things that we talk about in the group is how can I do this or how can I do that. People will leave a message, and then there's other people that would help, and they would send a message on what they would do. So these are the type of things that my group spoke about. The one thing that was said by one of the group members, Valli Lampkin, she said, stay willing to learn. 49 years and still learning. That is one thing I had to put on this video, because it does not matter how old you are, how many years you've been crocheting. It's always something out there that you just may not know. It's many things that I still want to learn. There's many things that I still want to do. So this is something that you guys can take, and you can share this with somebody else, because there's a lot of people out there who feel like they don't need to know. They feel like they don't need that reassurance. And to me, it's a little sad, because why not? Why wouldn't you want to learn anything else? Why wouldn't you want to learn and grow more? And I just want to thank Valli for that, because this is something that a lot of us need to do, and that's learn more. If somebody is teaching, if somebody is saying what they do, if somebody is just pointing out what was told to them, I would want to know, and I would want to listen, because you never know, that one thing might take me over the top to where I need to be. So that's something that you guys need to think about. This learning is very fundamental. So another thing that I personally learned, that doubling your hooks is the most beneficial thing ever. I find that I have favorite hooks, and that it helps me, and I crochet kind of fast. Sometimes I am in a rush to go out, and I have Diva bags all over the place. My Diva bags are my traveling bags. I have project bags, traveling bags. These are things that I keep around for different projects. So it might be a project that I have for a customer. It might be a project that I have for a gift, and it might just be a project that I just want to work on. So I have little tote bags that I call my little Diva bags, that I have all my little projects in. So it has the yarn and the actual yarn that I'm using and the hook that I'm using for it. I want to keep all of the hooks in this bag, because when you are grabbing something and you're rushing out, or you don't have time to look for that hook, it's already in there. So I need a couple of them. And my go-to hook is the clover. That's my go-to hook. That's the hook that I use for majority of almost everything. Now I have pretty fancy hooks. I have hooks with my name on it. my actual name and my Diva name. I have hooks that are actually pretty. Even my Eastern Star name, Sister Givens. I have hooks that actually say this, but they're not those go-to hooks. Now, don't get me wrong, I use them, but when I have those go-to hooks, like those really good hooks, I use the clover. And then when I'm not using a clover, I will use a furrow. And then if I'm not using a furrow, I just need to use one of those. and if you think about it, they're one of the expensive ones. So Diva got expensive taste. But yeah, I suggest doubling up on your hooks, because what if you lose them? Now, I've lost hooks, but it's not in the, like, sometimes I can lose them, but then I'm able to find them right away. So we have someone in our group who lost her hook and still to this day do not know where it's at. So we have Kimberly Housler. Kimberly says, double your hooks. Nothing is worse than losing a hook when you are too far into a project to frog it. Look into your bra, your hair, your eyeglass case. Look there first. So she's saying 2 years later, she's still looking. Oh my goodness. Now that's some craziness. She said she looked in the back of the couch. She looked all over and still couldn't find it. You know what? I've been there before, but I was able to still find it. Maybe a day later, maybe 2 days later, but I was able to find it. So yeah, just be careful with those hooks, ladies. Put those hooks up in your Diva bag. Take your Diva bag and buy a couple of them. When they on sale, get them. Or go with Graphghans and the Restless and win you some. Win you some hooks, because, girl, you need your hooks. You need those hooks. So I been crocheting now for years. I would say like 7 years, 8 years now. Kind of sort of self-taught. Yes, I do have an aunt that showed me the basics. She showed me how to make a chain, how to hold it, and how to turn, like turn the page in a book, how you turn your blanket or scarf. She showed me those little tips. But one thing she really taught me that really stuck into my brain is counting. I, at one point in time, hated to count my stitches. But then I realized, Shanna, you're not making a square. You're making a triangle. Girl, you can't do that. A Diva does it better, but not when you don't count. So we have somebody in our group, Rita Brito. She says the key is to count and keep counting. Diva Rita, you're right. You're right. Count. Keep counting. Especially when you're doing a Graphghan. Count those boxes. Count. Because you don't want to be doing your Graphghan and you're doing the heart and the heart is lopsided. You don't want that to happen. It happened. Then you're going to have to frog like 30 rows. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Divas do it better counting. I promise you. Count. So, we've been doing a lot of projects now, right? And I told you that I have Diva bags all over the place and I have this and that. I do things spontaneously. So if I have a customer and that customer says I need this or I need that, I 9 times out of 10 have the yarn already on deck. I one day will go through my yarn and show you my yarn, my empire. But yeah, she can make anything with what is in that room. She can do it. She can do it. The thing about it is, we don't, well, I don't prepare. I just do it. So if the customers say they want a polo bear, I'm going to give you polo bear. And I'm going to put those colors together, and I'm just going to have skins of yarn every single wear. I don't even do bobbins. I don't. But one thing that Olea Hokes told me in the group, she said, use a ball winder before each project. This way, you know if it has any knots before you get engaged into your project. She got a point. She's on to something. She's on to something, because I have what's called Divaism. I need to do what I need to do quickly, but efficiently. So I don't have time to wind a ball, and I don't have those electric winders. I didn't even buy it because, to me, I'm not going to do it. It's just going to sit there. I'm not going to do it. I don't have time for that. So what I do, I literally will just keep going like this and like this, and just keep going and going and going until I have a good amount right there. Especially if it's like a background color, or if it's like a color that I need like in the middle somewhere, I just go like this and just let it hang. That's what I do. I let it hang. But she's on to something, because when I do it that way, every now and then, yeah, it gets tangled. But to be honest with you, the only time it gets tangled is when I put it in the Diva bag. When I put it back in the project bag, when I'm ready to do it over again the next day, that's when I pull it out and it's a little bit tangled. But other than that, as I'm crocheting, no, it doesn't get tangled. Actually, it's actually very easy to take care of. Once I'm crocheting, it's like the string magically appears out of nowhere. It just magically appears. So that's something that I do, but it will get on other people's nerves, and they probably won't be able to do it. They won't be able to take it. So if you have that time to roll a bobbin or roll with the ball winder, do it. Just do it, because I think that is really a good idea, especially when you do have those knots in there. She has a point. What do I do when the knots come? Cut. But she has a point. And sometimes the yarn is a little messed up, or not only has the knot at one area is probably thicker, and then sometimes you see a little bit of other colors in there. I think that that's a good thing to do. I really do. Will I do it? No. But you could do it. It might save you, but not me. I just can't do it. So we have one more tip that one of our members said, and it actually goes to what Valli said when she's saying, keep learning and stuff. So it kind of goes hand in hand with that. And the member said, hardest part is staying confident, even where others do it better. Don't give up on yourself. It's okay to ask for help. And that was by Shelether Neblett. I just want to thank her because that is something that many of us go through. It's been a point in time where I even went through that. I don't go through that anymore because divas do it better. But it is a point in the time where you feel like, wow, like I'm just not getting where I want to go. I don't understand why isn't this working for me? Or I really want to learn that, but it's just not happening right now. Like for me, I wanted to learn how to do plant pooling. I just couldn't do it. I don't know if it was because my mind was on so many other things. I'm always getting orders. I'm always doing something. So maybe it's because I just couldn't put my mind into it. But I'm just letting you know now, you can do it. You could do anything you put your mind to. You really can. I want to say that as long as you keep your mind focused on what you love, you could do it. But you have to put that time into it. If you don't put that time into it, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. So just like the planned pooling, the reason why that wouldn't work for me is because I am doing so many other things and I couldn't just sit there and just play with it like I really wanted to play with it. If I didn't have any orders or if I wasn't doing too much on the side, I believe I could get it because I know I could. I'm just Diva do it better, of course. I would definitely be able to do it. But you have to have confidence in yourself. You see I see many other things out there that I'm like, wow, that is so pretty. I wish I could do that. Wow, that's a lot of work. I wish I could do that. I know I could do it. I'm not saying I can't. It's just a matter of having the time and the energy to do it. So I suggest if it's something you really, really, really want to do, you need to put in that time. Time is, it really, you may think you don't have the time. Believe me, 24 hours in a day, you have some type of time. Even if you put in 2 hours a day, put in 2 hours a day to try to get your what you really want to do accomplished. I was at a point in time where I couldn't do the videos because I wasn't consistent. I couldn't do all of my orders because I wasn't consistent. In order for me to be where I'm at today, where I do not have to sell myself anymore, I can post my things just for showing my projects. I could just show my projects versus me putting it out there to get an order. There's no need for me to put out there anymore. Get you this. You want this? Come and get it. No, I don't need to do that. There's no need for me to advertise. My work it sells for itself. Divas are legends. And legends are those who've been doing things. And I'm not even going to say the amount of years because it doesn't matter how many years you've been doing it. You could have been doing it for like 2 days. You've mastered it. And it's to the point where you can sell without advertising. I believe you're a legend and I believe you're a diva because you're able to just put your name on a post and people know who you are. You're able to get tags on Facebook when people are asking, do anybody know how to make this? Do anybody know how to make that? And you're getting 5 and 6 tags at one time. And then the person that she picks is the very one who say, thank you for tagging me, and leave it alone. You don't need to say, I do this. Boom. I do that. Boom. I can make this better. Boom. I don't need that. I don't need to do that. What I can do is say, my name is Creative Stitching Diva, and I do have work on Instagram if you want to see it. My work sells itself. I ain't even gonna lie. There's people in Jersey City that I could run circles around. Only one I can, that's Nettie, but that's my crochet mentor. I cannot run circles around her. I go to her, I call her. But yeah, everybody else, because the post had people who's in my area. I didn't even know they knew how to crochet, and that's the problem. That's the problem. People, I could be walking down the street and people say, "Hey Diva, can I have a hat? Hey Diva, can I have it?" Now when you could do that, you a diva. You a diva. And the crazy thing is, I gave myself that diva name before I can even do that. Because before, when I gave myself this name, Creative Stitch and Diva, I made up the name just because I thought it fits. But no, I was not no diva at the time, because here I'm posting stuff. Oh, if you want this color, I do it in so many colors. And if you want this, I'm not saying anything is wrong. I'm just saying you shouldn't have to. Your work should sell itself. It should sell itself. I believe that Facebook has become a place where you can network, and it's like a marketplace now where you could buy this and buy that on there. But when it comes to my items, I think I take so much more pride in my items that I don't need to post it up there with, oh, it's this amount or it's that amount. No, I'm going to show my work because I like it, and I think you will like it too. So I will show my work. And if you want me to do something for you, you can reach me. You can send me an inbox. I can give you my number. You can email me. You can do whatever you need to do to reach me. So I cater to not just those who do not know how to crochet. I cater to those who do know how to crochet. So I cater to both of them because that's just what God wanted me to do. I didn't know. I had no idea that this is what I was going to do. I had no idea that this is something that I was going to be blessed with. I had no idea. This is something that helped me once I had cancer. And like I said, crochet saved my life. And it can save yours as well. Just keep doing what you're doing. And if you have any questions, ask Diva. You can ask in the comments. You can ask in my group, Graphghans and the Restless. You can ask in my email, which is shannag78@gmail.com. You can ask Diva anytime you want, and Diva will make sure she answers you in a video form. We have so many visual people out there, so I figure a video form is the best thing to do than to just put it in a post or send you a message that says blah 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 blah, because sometimes that's what it means when you're not showing or actually hearing something. And sometimes people can't read while they're working. Sometimes it's best to just listen to it. So I just thank you guys for allowing me to do this in this type of platform, and I thank you guys for giving me this status. I'm very blessed. I don't want for anything, and I just want you guys to keep on growing just like I'm growing. And you have a good night.